Core strength and core activation are really important for posture and also for self regulation. If there are stresses taking energy out of your bucket, we can help to work on these skills to be putting energy back in rather than taking it out.
We sometimes also see with kids that their core strength when they're sitting in the classroom, they're not able to hold themselves upright in a chair. So it might not be that they're seeking movement, actually might be that they need their core strength developed. But when we're looking at core strength, we're looking at, you've got to think about your two cores. You've got your inner core and your outer core. The outer core is often the one that, if you're doing sort of training to develop sort of your core strength, that's tend to be what people focus on in terms of trying to build up your six-pack or abdominal muscles when you're doing sit-ups. But to be able to develop your outer core, you actually need your inner core first, as it activates as an anchor to be able to then activate the outer core from there. So your inner core consists of your diaphragm, which is along the top, and then your multifidus is your spinal muscles around that wrap around the back, and then your transverse abdominis around the front, with your pelvic floor acting like a sling around the bottom. So you can kind of think about it almost like it looks like a cylinder or an inner balloon, and it's about you needing to position your making sure that you're all in alignment to be able to have every part of the inner core working.
Yeah, and that's not just for the core strength as well, that's also for your respiration, so your breathing, which ties really closely in with all of that muscle strength. You have to have that muscle strength to be able to breathe, and then also be able to breathe to develop the muscle strength as well.
So when it comes to core activation, you can have stability with that outer core, so you can think about that outer core, but if you've not got that inner core working, then it's really not effective in the activation that you are getting, and the power of that activation is going to be a lot less than what you could do if you're activating both parts of it. So breathing acts as a link to help build that. So if you're thinking about that diaphragm is that top component of that inner core, if you're not activating the diaphragm and using deep breathing and those big belly breaths, then that's definitely an integral piece when it comes to that inner core.
Yeah. So when you're looking at breathing, you need to be breathing from all angles. So not just up and down, but also in and out. So some people, especially with our posture, just with how life has progressed, we tend to use more shallow breathing, but we're wanting to have that full deep breathing right down to the bottom. So if you don't have that, then it has changes on your muscle strength and also on the depth of your breath. And you'll often find that kids who are in that autonomic or survival mode will take really short, sharp breaths out of the top of their chest, and then helping them to bring that breathing right the way down can be very calming for them.
Also thinking about if you're thinking of that inner core as being a cylinder or sort of an elongated balloon, you need to think about the bottom part of that as well, which is the pelvis and that pelvic floor. So if the pelvis is tilted out of alignment, so if you're sort of got an anterior pelvic tilt where your belly's bulging out forward, or a posterior pelvic tilt where you're sort of slouching backwards through the lower back, then that also throws out the alignment for that inner core as well. And then also anchoring the shoulder girdle to be able to then allow for that breath to be pulled up and that weight shift to go forward.
Basically, you can't have one without the other. So to have that strength, you need your activation, but you also need the strength to be able to build on your core activation as well.
Yeah, so it's thinking about that whole package, because if you're just working on one, then you're not going to achieve the results that you're looking for.